The killer made a mistake. She allowed a witness to see her while she was covered in blood. The killer's reputation was at stake. She spoke to the witness and quickly made up an excuse. The witness fell for it. Next, the killer casually socialized with the witness to maintain her act. The witness was a member of the drama club, so the killer made a positive comment about drama. The killer was now on good terms with the witness. Her reputation was safe. For now. The killer researched her victims thoroughly before killing them. She took out her smartphone, snapped a photo of her victim's face, saved it for future use. And hid behind a wall before her victim could take notice of her. By studying her victim's routine, she could visualize her victim's whereabouts at any point in time. She could even visualize the presence of nearby objects that would be useful for committing murder. The killer grabbed a syringe and a tranquilizer. She hid the syringe in her clothing. She spoke to her next victim and convinced the unsuspecting girl to follow her into a secluded room. She closed the door behind her, took out the syringe, and stabbed the girl from behind. She dragged the girl's unconscious body to a large case and dumped her inside of it. She left the area and returned after midnight to collect the body of her victim, with no witnesses. The killer decided to drown her next victim. First, she grabbed some rat poison. Next, she used a giggle to lure her victim away from her food. Then, while her victim was distracted, she put the rat poison into her meal. The killer waited until the victim was puking into a toilet, snuck up behind her, and drowned her.
Hey, what are you...
If she could manage to find some lethal poison, I guess she could put that in the food instead. The killer planned to murder her next victim with electricity. The first step was grabbing a bucket. She filled the bucket up with water and dumped the water on the ground at her victim's feet. Then she picked up a car battery and threw it into the puddle of water. Even as she stood over the corpse of her latest victim, she was already planning her next murder. As the killer continued to take lives, she encountered different types of victims. Most of her victims were easy to take down. But some of them fought back. Some victims would fight tooth and nail against the killer, attempting to disarm and apprehend her. However, she always stood victorious in the end. She prepared to build a tripwire trap. She grabbed a knife, a spool of thread, and masking tape. Her next victim would die by fire. She grabbed a canister of gasoline and poured it into a bucket. What is this? It smells like gasoline?
What? No, no.
She poured the gasoline into a water cooler and set up the trap. After her unsuspecting victim was covered in gasoline, she used a candle to light her on fire. She had killed with blade,